welcome to Vault TV. That was probably the greatest spin-offs of all time from 2021 to 2026. Bro, season 5, episode 8. That was the last episode, the series finale of Power Racing Book Kanan. I'm so happy and sad at the same time that this is coming towards the end. The journey that we've been through since the pandemic and not having any other TV shows to watch. And I remember where right after when Grace died, I thought like, what else are we going to see from Power? And then we saw a Power Book 2 Ghost with Tariq and Brayden and all the other characters. But this spin-off, Power Book Racing Kanan from season 1 to season 5, is like we saw these characters develop in so many ways that we can't even explain it. Like, we understand why Jukebox turned so cold. We understand why Kanan, he became a demon. We understand why Rock turned him this way. We understand why, Marvin and Lou was just, always brothers and everything. And now we're going to be seeing Power Book Legacy and Power Origins. And we're definitely going to be seeing Kanan. And I hope that we get to see Unique in the Oranges as well. But yeah, this is my little recap that I read down through the episode. And I can't believe that that Jukebox killed Rock. Like, that shit was so bittersweet. Because, it's eye for eye. You get me? Like, you kill my dad, I want to kill your mom. And the way the way that let me rephrase this. If I'm right or wrong, just say down in the comments. I don't want you to grow up with anyone knowing that, like, I don't want no one to ever give a fuck about you. I'm saying in my words, I don't want no one to care about you. I want you to just die alone and be by yourself. And I just want you to just be left to just die to be a piece of shit. Basically, I know I didn't say the words correctly, but Kanan. No. And what else that shocked me was that Rock told Jukebox before that she was gonna lose her life to Jukebox. Jukebox even said to Kanan, your mom didn't even love you anyway. She told me to do you instead of her. How? Even though it's probably true or not true, it still hits deeper for Kanan because Kanan was so attached to Rock. In ways that because Rock made Kanan, if you understand what I'm talking about, because Kanan was never this way. Rock influenced him, from the drugs, from the lying through the manipulation, and that's how Kanan became so cold hearted because Rock was just as cold hearted as well, and she always used Rock always used Marvin and Lou for for anything, and Kanan, their last conversation with her last conversation with Rock, it made me realize that Kanan always loved Rock, but Rock didn't know how to love him back in a certain type of way that he wanted it to be. Rock did everything for Kanan, and this is why we said the last episode. Marvin even said to Rock, "You never cared about me or Lou. You only cared about you and Kanan." And it's kind of ironic that the last line before she died said do Kanan instead of me, because she low-key hated Kanan for taking out her two brothers. You know what I mean? And it's sad, it's sad at how boys, like black boys in the hood, they go through poverty, they go through hopelessness, they have no way out, and they pick the drug game. But that's the reality of things. That's how, African Americans and, different races, how we brought up is just through violence and the streets, and, the educational system didn't teach us any better. So it's just crazy how, how the writers just showed us that, there was no way out. Because I remember even with Jukebox as well. Jukebox, she wanted to pursue in the army. It didn't work out because of her sexuality. She wanted to do music, but her environment kept bringing her down. It was certain things that Jukebox didn't want to do, and she picked the streets because out of hopelessness, she didn't know that she was gonna live or die. You know, her dad was in the streets, the family was in the streets, and Jukebox turned to a cold-hearted bitch the way we saw OG Power. And Kanan, he had a way out too. Rock wanted him to, to go to university, go to school. But, it was Rock's past that made him become this way. And Kanan, he wanted to learn the streets just like Tariq. It's kind of funny. And now that we're seeing that Kanan and Jukebox, and now they have a bitter rivalry. And I know deep down inside they still love each other because they're both twisted as well, you know what I mean? Because at the same time, Kanan didn't give a fuck about Sean dying. And, I forgot to even say this too. Kanan is a fucking dad. After all the shit that he did, he's a father. And you know what? It kind of makes sense why Kanan killed Sean and OG Power. He didn't even know that if the child was his or not. He didn't even care. At that time, this is why Kanan became so cold-hearted. And, he killed his own son. So now we're going to see that in Origins. It's going to be kind of crazy. But nah, Jukebox, I feel so sad for Jukebox because the reality is that she really has no one now. She doesn't have Uncle Marvin. She had to kill Rock for herself just to feel, alive, and it's just fucking crazy. And Uncle Marvin definitely left a note for Flossie to see that. I kind of realized that, yeah, Marvin did have feelings for Flossie, but obviously, it's two different races, and at that time, Rock was always controlling Marvin, so Flossie couldn't even get ins with Marvin like that. So that's different as well. And yeah, Detective Howard, shit, that nigga is rolling in his grave right now, shit. It's kind of like Kanan decided to take this path because of, how everything played out. He didn't want to be like this, I could tell. He didn't want to be this type of monster to kill his, both of the... I'm still shocked that he killed Uncle Lou by accident. But yeah, even killing Uncle Marvin last episode, bro, all the fans were trolling, we were getting emotional, we were getting sad, we were crying because, our favorite character got taken out. And, it was kind of bittersweet as well that Kanan went to the funeral just to see what he did wrong. And then Jukebox living, a little lollipop for Marvin just to say that's his favorite thing, that was his favorite treat. And that was the last pieces of Jukebox that we're ever going to see. The last piece of humanity that we're going to see in Jukebox. Kanan took that away from us. Kanan wanted Jukebox to turn this cold. And I realized why Kanan killed Jukebox in the end. That was like, you got to take everything away from me. You took away my mom. Who knows what, Jukebox did to him later on. But that was basically revenge for his mom. And it's like, you're not going to take Tariq out as well. So it's kind of funny how that we saw that scene, how Jukebox was talking to Tariq. And like, yeah, didn't trust Kanan and all this stuff because it's just like Jukebox still had hatred for Kanan taking out her father. So everything is just working out over time, and it's just willing it in, and we're getting throwbacks to that. We're going to see Kanan coach Ghost and Tommy into the way they are, and Breeze is going to be a monster as well. And Stefano, he made it out alive. Stefano is low-key my favorite character in the Power Book Racing Kanan as well. Pino got fucking killed. That scene too that Pino wanted to talk to Rock and have sex with her and everything. I'm like, Pino, you're so stupid. Do you think Rock, that badass bitch from the Bronx, she has Stephanie, he had Unique. You think Rock was gonna give that shit up to you, you old ass nigga? No way. I was like, nah, you gotta die. And after Breeze took out these two white boys as well because they snitched, and we saw a funeral as well with Snaps and Pops. So yeah, that was a beautiful way to end all the characters, and I hope that we get to see Unique and Power Origins as well, so we could just have fun with that. And yeah, I know Kanan, when he saw his mom in the floor like that, this is why I know Kanan now, he's going to turn up Power Origins, and yeah, we're going to be on a long ass ride again. Thank you, 50 Cent. Thank you, all the characters from Bratino Miller, from London Brown, Michael Maines, all the other characters. The nigga that played Kanan, the nigga that played Jukebox. So yeah, we're gonna have fun. And damn, RIP. I'm just so flabbergasted this all ended. RIP Rock Thomas, RIP Marvin Thomas, RIP Lou Thomas. And yeah, shout out to the Vault TV. I hope this is my little recap for season 5, episode 8. And yeah, any other TV shows, movies that y'all recommend, y'all let me know under the comments. And thank you for the Vault TV, all my subscribers and my viewers. And we're going to be here for the long haul. So peace, y'all.